your website is like the brick and mortar storefront.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just say that you've decided to open up a brick and mortar store and you spent whether, X amount, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 on a brick and mortar business. And then you decided, hey, let me close it down and move 2 blocks away and open that up. Do you understand that you basically tore down your store and now you're gonna have to spend the money to redo, your store? And I see this repeatedly from, you know, agents to agents. All right, so I have gotten permission from Kevin to record this session only because I believe this topic is so important, and also it is something that I think a lot of agents like Kevin struggle with, and I have a strong stance on it. But anyway, let's go into the discussion.
Sure.
So you emailed me, beginning of the year, and asked me, basically saying, "Hey, I made the decision to move over to your broker's website, right? Um, with currently you have Carrot as your website. Now, what is the number one uh, factor why you made that decision, Kevin? Or a couple, or whatever the factors are."
Yeah. Well, in the past, the solution that my brokerage was providing just didn't have the look that I wanted. I didn't like how it presented content, and I was restricted with some of the things I could do. So I didn't like their particular platform. They have a
Hmm.
new platform now, and I think it just looks better, and I think I can use it better for what I need to use it for. So that, along with the fact that I was paying for, and I have my own domain name, the kevinmajeski.com, which I can still retain on all my business cards, everything else. It'll just redirect to my broker provided website.
Okay.
And I've been in the business for about 10 years. And I started out with a strong focus on personal branding for my business. And so I wanted to have a separate kevinmajeski.com site that looked, unique, and also something that I could carry with me through my entire career. And now, having invested in that for a number of years, I do get some leads from it. But I've also just gotten uh, perhaps even more leads recently from the new broker web system. So that question, that issue has kind of become less leaning towards a personal website, because I'm getting leads from the broker provided website. And so just the cost of having to duplicate or replicate, whatever word, a site for my own, when this one I think could provide a good solution and 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 serve my basic needs very well.
Okay. So, um, is it mainly the cost, or because the
Cost and benefit,
okay.
and functionality. So all three of them really. Um, I just haven't seen having my own website in terms of lead gen and other things I could do with it
Mhm.
outweighing or equal to the cost of having that. It just hasn't, for me, hasn't played out to be that much of a benefit. And I'm wanting to kind of streamline all of my business expenses and the tools that I have to kind of maintain.
Okay. So, I want to make an analogy. Okay. Your website is like the brick and mortar storefront.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just say that you've decided to open up a brick and mortar store and you spent whether, X amount, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 on a brick and mortar business. and then you decided, hey, let me close it down and move 2 blocks away and open that up. Do you understand that you basically tore down your store and now you're gonna have to spend the money to redo, your store? And I see this repeatedly from, you know, agents to agents. When I spoke to agents back, a couple of years ago, this was like maybe, and I see them, and I go back a year later and I see them on another real estate platform. And then a year later, I go to their website and I see hey, this is another, and I keep track of all this in my CRM, right? And I
Yeah.
see that they've used Real Geeks, they use Agent Elite, they use um, Chime or whatever.
Mhm.
What you're in essence doing is basically, what is the purpose? I mean, if you're using your website as mainly a specific goal, then yes. But if your main goal is specifically to generate leads organically, utilizing Google, then when you switch platforms, you're basically going back to zero. And when you do that, w- you know, is it going to have an effect on your ranking? So the question is, all of the assets that you build on kevinmajeski.com, what does that mean? That means all the blog posts, all of the location pages that we've created, right? And all of the links associated with you and your domain. Just because you redirect to your broker's website, it's just that root domain, it's not going to, it- it's going to get affected. And what you're doing is, like, um, with carpet, I think you're with Carpenter, right? Right? You have a subdomain. It's just kevinmajeski dot um,
Oh, Carpenter.
carpenterrealty.com, right?
Yeah.
That domain and subdomain belongs to Carpenter.
Yes.
And so any content that you put on there potentially is building their domain and not
Understood.
your domain,
Understood. Yes.
right? And so um, there are, um, if it's a matter of you trying, because you don't want to continue the carrot subscription because you feel like, maybe that's an additional cost you feel like you don't want to absorb, then we can look at other avenues to, I guess, consolidate, right? But understand there's always going to be pros and cons. Now, I can't 100% say, hey, you're, because right now, I think if you Google real estate agents in your area, you come up pretty high. Now, would that get affected? Probably, right? If you decide that you want to shut it down, um, is 100%? I don't, like I can't tell, I don't know exactly what Google's going to do, right? But I know that your ranking is going to, um, you know, get affected. How much? I don't know. But then also you have to take into consideration of all of the money that you basically, you know, uh, invested. It's not the ongoing cost, but it's the money that you invested into building your online store. That's per se. Okay.